Alright, so it is time to take care of our error handling finally. And specifically, let's get rid of these expect calls, because this will cause our program to panic in case something goes wrong with the database, and we do not really want that. Let's handle potential error more gracefully. Let's let Rocket handle this better for us. Instead of returning a JSON value here, we're gonna switch to a result. And in case of a successful result, we're gonna return a JSON value again. But otherwise, we're gonna return a custom status code this comes from Rocket. And this custom status code is gonna also contain a JSON value, which is gonna be the error message. So let's go down here and see how to accomplish that with what we have right now. So this load_all function call will already return a result, which means we do not need anything from the below. Let's also remove this all variable. And after the load_all run, we need to map it. In case of successful result, we're gonna just transform our Rustasians, which is gonna be the returned value from load_all. We're gonna just transform it to JSON and pass it down as a response, like we already did so far. But now, if we have an error, we're gonna use map_err and convert this error from a diesel error that it is into a custom error with wrapping the string part of this error. So we're gonna do it like this. I'm gonna use the internal server error, because in case there is something wrong happening, we want to respond with 500 error. 500 is an HTTP status code, meaning there is an internal server error. And we're gonna specify the message to be the actual database error, the diesel error that we're being passed here already, but we're gonna convert it to string. And after we have a string, we're gonna use the JSON macro to convert it to a JSON value instead. This means that we are gonna end up with a custom HTTP response with internal server error as status code and JSON message. Let's go ahead and import this status module. It's coming from the HTTP Rocket module. There we go. And we can actually have this in a single line. Yes, great. Now this actually looks a lot better than before. We got rid of the temporary variable, and now everything looks fluent. We just change the load_all response and we return a result to Rocket. Rocket will automatically handle everything for us. If there is a JSON value, all good, otherwise we're gonna have an internal server error along with the error. Alright, let's now convert all of our endpoints to this kind of error handling instead of this expect way we used to do so far. So let's copy paste around. Let's remove things and change also the signatures of our functions, of our endpoints. JSON value should be replaced by this result. Also here actually it's gonna be a bit different. Let's see what we're gonna do later. First of all, let's convert the remaining. Great. Now the update endpoint. Perfect, so far so good. Now for the delete endpoint, let's see, we're gonna apply the same map pattern we have already, and in case of success we want to actually return a simple status instead of JSON. So up here we're gonna have result and status of content for success. Otherwise we're gonna still have the status custom with a JSON value in case something goes wrong. And yep, looks good, but yeah, still we don't need this variable, so let's use an underscore here. And that was it. The compiler no longer complains. Let's go ahead and compile the program just to make sure. No warnings, nothing. It looks like it is going to compile correctly. And actually we can test it. We can trigger an error to our application, and we can easily do so by removing the database. If we move the database someplace that Diesel cannot find it, then our application will exit with an error. So let's first see if everything is successful, if our Rocket application will compile. And it did, of course. So let's now stop it. And let's move our database from database SQLite to, let's say, database SQLite, but with an underscore in the end. Now our application will not find it, and when we ping our endpoint it will crash. So let's compile again our program. No need to compile actually because nothing changed. So let's switch to our terminal and let's ping our application using any URL. Actually, let's use the Rastasian, and we have this -i added here to check the status code, which is indeed 500. Perfect. But let's also see the response. Let's see if it is helpful. Yep, we received the Diesel error message, no such stable Rastasians. It might not be a good idea to return the exact error message from Diesel back to the client, back to the visitor. But for now it's good. Maybe you want to hide it, maybe not, but I will leave this up to you. Our error handling now is a lot better. We are ready to maybe, I don't know, deploy it to production. Let's see.